For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray release for 1990's Demon Wind. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. Now, Demon Wind is about a young man named Corey who is haunted by the mysterious and brutal deaths of his grandparents. He, along with quite a few of his friends, pretty much I would assume to be the entirety of his friends, venture off to the desolate location where his grandparents' home used to be, only to discover that the wind brings demons, and one by one, all of his friends become demons. Now, Demon Wind is sort of a mashup between The Evil Dead, Night of the Demons, and A Nightmare. And what I mean by a nightmare, I mean that Demon Wind follows the logic of a nightmare, in that it follows absolutely no logic whatsoever. The tone is all over the place. The performances are all over the place. This movie just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For instance, why would he have so many of his friends follow him out to this desolate location where his grandparents' home used to be? I can understand maybe a couple of friends, 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most, who are very supportive of wanting him to, bury the ghosts of the past. But literally halfway through this movie, there are still friends of his showing up, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because there isn't a whole lot of a story going on here. So that's just more sort of demon fodder. Let's just say a bigger body count. The characters in the movie are very stilted, and the screenplay makes them all come off as being complete and utter ditzes. At one point, a character just disappears. She vanishes in front of her friend's eyes after they are accosted by 3 little spooky evil girls. And the reaction is, oh, she's gone. Oh, well, let's never speak of her again for the rest of this movie. And yet at the same time, the movie seems to be trying to make this very deep spiritual message, but it all just comes off really just kind of flat. And the movie plays itself so seriously that a lot of the sequences just sort of come off very, very laughable, but not in an entertaining kind of way, at least in my opinion. This is definitely the kind of movie that I could see watching with a group of friends over some beers and just having a good laugh. Unfortunately, I watched it all alone, stone cold sober, and spent the majority of the time just scratching my head wondering what was going on here. Once the movie gets down to the nitty-gritty and it's just a demon zombie onslaught, it gets a little bit more enjoyable. The demon makeups themselves aren't bad overall. However, they do vary. Some of them look pretty darn good. Some of them just look like cheap masks that somebody's slathered KY jelly all over. There is some blood. There is some gore, though it's not really a bloodbath or a very gory movie. I would say the end of the movie, which features a showdown between Corey, who's been turned into some sort of I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not even going to try to explain it, but it's an angelic version of Corey, I guess you could say, versus what I'm assuming is supposed to be the devil himself. And that is just an absolute riot. I have no idea what to make of Demon Wind. It was at least somewhat entertaining watching it because, again, I was just kind of scratching my head. This movie follows the logic of a nightmare in that it follows absolutely no logic whatsoever. The performances are all over the place. The tone is all over the place. it's just an odd movie. And I kind of understand why Demon Wind has something of a cult following because of just how odd that it is. Now, Demon Wind never got a DVD release. This is its very first release post VHS, and Vinegar Syndrome has really rolled out the red carpet for Demon Wind. So if you are a fan of this movie, you definitely want to look in to picking up this Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. It sports a brand new 2K transfer of the original 35mm negative, and I have to say, this Blu-ray looks utterly fantastic. There are some sequences in this film that look like they were shot yesterday and not back in 1990. Vinegar Syndrome did an excellent job with the 2K restoration of Demon Wind. The picture quality and the sound quality are both superb on this release. It is a DVD and Blu-ray combo pack. There is the DVD. The Blu-ray is in my Blu-ray player. We have a reversible sleeve, as you can kind of see there. Not bad. As far as extras are concerned, we get an interview with producer Sandy Horowitz. It's 26 minutes and 27 seconds in length. Mr. Horowitz discusses producing Demon Wind along with 2 other films at the time, including the obscure cultish slasher Twisted Nightmare, which is a movie that has also not made the jump from VHS to DVD or Blu-ray, so maybe Vinegar Syndrome has their eye on Twisted Nightmare. He also discusses how he got into the movie business. He discusses not being very involved in the making of Demon Wind, but being very surprised by how well the film turned out while revisiting it recently. Mr. Horowitz discusses the pressures of low-budget filmmaking and the distribution process of getting a movie into theaters at that time. A very nice, lengthy interview with Mr. Horowitz. We have an interview with actress Sherry Lee at 16 minutes and 31 seconds in length. Miss Lee discusses getting cast in Demon Wind, the audition process, and the rehearsals. She discusses working with the director and what he was like to be directed by. She discusses the shooting locations and the unpredictability of the weather. She discusses Lou Diamond Phillips being on the set quite a bit and actually got to play one of the demons in the film. Lou Diamond Phillips was dating one of the assistants on Demon Wind at the time and was on the set quite a bit. And apparently during the demon sequence where they needed a lot of people to play demons, he volunteered to go through the makeup process and play one of the demons. That's very, very cool. We get an interview with cinematographer Thomas Calloway, which is 19 minutes and 57 seconds in length. Mr. Calloway discusses how he got into the movie business, working first for David Duchovny and then on movies like Slumber Party Massacre 2. He discusses shooting the movie with multiple film stocks and crappy cameras and the obstacles that both of those things presented for him on the set of Demon Wind. He discusses the long hours and rough conditions that accompanied the shoot. He also discusses Lou Diamond Phillips' cameo as a demon in the film. A very nice, very entertaining interview with Mr. Calloway. We also have an audio interview with editor Christopher Roth. It's 20 minutes and 17 seconds in length. Mr. Roth discusses how he got into the movie business as an editor and working on Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and then editing films for Fred Olen Ray and the TV show Monsters. Mr. Roth discusses editing Demon Wind and some of the obstacles he found editing that film, such as a lack of coverage or focusing issues. Very nice interview with Mr. Roth. We also get a theatrical trailer and a still gallery. This is a very nice release for Demon Wind from the fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. If you are a fan of this movie, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. I'll put a link to Vinegar Syndrome's website down in the description. The picture quality and the sound quality are both superb, and you get some really nice extras on this release. If you've not seen Demon Wind, do your research. I really can't recommend it. It does have a cult following. It is a really odd movie. It is strangely entertaining, although I can't say that I necessarily liked it. It's a weird one, and I'll leave it at that. If you've seen Demon Wind, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the A Buck a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to current patrons Terry Delamore and Orc145626. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.